Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
Good morning, everybody. Lots of fun here in the studio today. Halloween is just around the corner, and while you want to have the best costumes for yourself and the kiddos, it can add up. Here to help us with some affordable DIY ideas is Sarah Tarasinski with Redo Style. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Thank you for bringing all this fun into the studio today.
Yes, we love some Halloween.
I do too. It's my favorite holiday. Okay, so how can we get creative with saving money on holiday costumes? Because if you go straight out and buy it,
right.
I'll say it, I worked there in college at Spirit Halloween, they get expensive.
They do. They get very expensive. So I always say that we should try to do Halloween secondhand, whether you're just buying a piece and wearing it as is or upcycling. So I like to, of course, thrift. It's more sustainable. Thrift stores like Goodwill or any other store in the area, there's a ton of great thrift stores. I always say hit there first before you go and buy something at the big box store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you'd be surprised at how much you can get a hold of.
Yes.
Especially if you put your kind of creative brain on.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's you, sister.
Yeah.
You've got such a creative brain.
I try so hard. Yeah, I'm a big fan of an accessory. So if an accessory can really make a costume,
yes.
it really, I mean, you don't have to, if you want to be like Superman, you don't have to buy the whole spandex outfit. Like, the little accessories can make the huge difference, save a ton of money, and keep a ton of things out of a landfill.
That's a really good point. Actually, we are going to be like Winter Olympians for America.
Okay.
Yeah, just since the Olympics is coming up this winter.
It's perfect.
Yeah, my co-host Blake and I, and so far I've gotten American flags, USA, so that's what I feel like is going to be the thing that kind of helps it along.
Yeah, and use your own ski gear and stuff that you already have.
Well, I wish.
Well, of course. Maybe not here, I guess.
One could wish.
Yeah.
Goodwill, of course, is a great option.
Yes.
You did mention it. Can you give me an example of some of the stuff we can find there?
Yes, Goodwill is a great spot to shop. They've got newer things, and then, of course, they have a great Halloween section. Great for, again, the accessories. And then, of course, all my favorite things that I love to thrift. And also inflatables. Y'all can donate your inflatables at the end of the year, or you can purchase them, and you've got a few behind you.
This is amazing.
From Goodwill, fraction of the price, like 75% less than you would spend going to one of the big box stores to grab them. So remember, if you like these types of things, thrift them, and then when you're done with them, donate them so someone else can enjoy them.
Absolutely, really good reminder.
Yeah.
Okay, costume ideas that you have to share.
Yes.
Starting with someone who's very popular with the
know.
littles.
She is so popular. Listen, I went simple this year. I wanted to show that you didn't necessarily have to go purchase the whole outfit like you said at the big box Halloween stores. So Miss Rachel, thrifted overalls, $2.99.
Miss Rachel.
Thrifted t-shirt, $1.99. And then just a piece of t-shirt that I tied into this little head wrap.
The headband is the giveaway.
It is a giveaway. It is a giveaway. My kids are a little too old for Miss Rachel, but I know that people love this. And if you have little ones and you're going to a Halloween party and you want to dress up and you want to just keep it chill and have all the kids be at your ankles loving you, then dress like Miss Rachel.
Not only that, you'll be comfortable.
Yeah,
I love
very
that
comfy.
idea. Okay, and you've also done like kind of a throwback, old school, Clark Kent.
I know, Clark Kent, you know, because these are things that are kind of trending this year with the new Superman movie. And I wanted to be Superman, so I'm like, I don't want the whole spandex suit. I want to buy all this stuff. So why not just, and this is a classic, tons of people have done this, but all thrifted, Goodwill, the tie, just some glasses from the accessory section, and then a Superman t-shirt.
Wow.
And then you just leave it open, and you know, you look cool, you're comfortable, and you're Clark Kent.
And people understand.
And people, yes. I mean, come on, we all know.
You're not full Superman, and you don't have to be showing off all those muscles.
Yeah, you're actually the cuter Superman. I think Clark Kent's the cuter version of Superman.
Oh, absolutely, with those glasses on.
Yeah.
Okay, we've also got a little live model today.
do.
We've got Mia in the studio. Mia, come on out.
Yay.
Mia, look at her. A little Labubu.
A little Labubu. So we all know that Labubus are, I mean, like trending huge. So why not do a Labubu? Thrift a little hoodie and the little leggings in a matching color. Took a little headband, put some ears on. I actually went online to this great little website, and this mom had done this mask. I'll have to tag her on my social media.
This is so
but
clever.
I was like, that's such a great idea for the little mask. And so, and it looks just like the Labubu. Mia pointed out that I did the proper amount of teeth to show that it's a Labubu, not a Lafufu.
Oh,
but
it's
a little.
It's the trademark version that we're doing with felt.
I know, with felt. So again, a popsicle stick, a piece of cardboard, put the face together, do your little ears. You can mix and match this. A whole group of little girlfriends or guys could do it all, and They're fun little colors, and you could do all different colors. Take the kids to the thrift store with you, let them get involved and go on a little hunt for their hoodies and their leggings.
And then they can help with the felt work as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be really fun, and I agree with you, different colors. My
Yes.
friends and I went as crayon colors
Yes,
one Halloween.
same concept.
That was a ton of fun. Mia, you
Yes.
did a great job, girlfriend.
Good job,
Thank you
baby.
so much. You
Thank
can head
you.
back. You
I
can
love
head
that.
back off
I
camera.
guarantee we're going to see like 1,000 boo-boos.
Well, now you've given everybody the
I know,
idea.
super easy.
Absolutely. Okay, just do want to mention
Yes.
your DIY because it's not just costumes. We've also got
Yes.
decor that we can play
Yeah,
around
I'm
with.
a big fan of upcycling, especially the pumpkins. I've done this one for probably about 5 years. You just drill a hole in the bottom. You have a special little adapter that can go on your bit, and then you take your little handle off, and then you take your standard solar light. This one is actually out of my yard since there's dirt all over it, and you insert it in through the hole in the bottom, and then straight down into the pumpkin. You have to use a bigger solar light, the one that's 6 inches, or 4 to 6 inches across, and then it will light up. You know, just stick it back in the yard, and then you can do them all up your walkway.
That
You
is
can
so
do-
cool.
It is so fun.
And it's going to light it up with like an orange flare
it lights
to
it
it.
bright orange, like
Yeah.
very, very bright. As bright as your solar light will go. But you can do purple pumpkins. You can use vintage glass bowls and put them upside down. There's all sorts of things you can do. But
I
this
know
is,
you love a vintage glass.
I know I do love it. I love a vintage glass bowl. But this is such a fun one and so easy. And you can have your kids do it. And you can use your existing solar lights that you have, or you can just buy some at a big box store and then do your pumpkins. And remember, these you can find all over Goodwill as well.
And a very affordable
Yes.
price at that.
Yep.
Okay, real quickly before we let you go, you're not taking clients at this time, but instead what you're doing is teaching people to do DIY like this. So tell us about what's happening on Instagram.
Yeah, as far as designing goes, I work really mainly right now on social media, showing people how to rework and reuse what they have. I have a 7-part series. I'm getting ready to do episode number 6 called It's Time for an Upcycle, where I show you how to rework, reuse, and upcycle what you have. And I'm doing spaces for under $500. So I feel like it's really important that we all can have beautiful homes. Everybody deserves that, but we need to use some of the things that we have and keep our carbon footprint a little lower, but making it fun and very stylish.
Diverting from landfills and also making your space look a whole lot
Yeah,
cooler.
exactly.
By the way, Mia is off camera right now, also using her Labubu face as a fan. That's a double. That is a double in a
It's
Texas
functional.
Halloween.
It's functional. Yeah,
All right,
for
Sarah.
sure.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
All right, guys, for help on your own DIY Halloween costumes, keep up with Sarah on social at Redo Style. This segment is sponsored by Debt Redemption. A recent CNBC article says that the number of Americans carrying credit card balances is climbing, and Forbes reports that the average credit card interest rate is now over 27%. Ouch. If you or someone you know is struggling with $20,000 to $100,000 or more of credit card debt or personal loans, Tim Wilkins is here with Debt Redemption, Texas Debt Relief, to give us some options to help.
Hello,
Tim,
my
good
friend.
morning. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, Tim, I come to you with this always because it's tricky. It's a complicated situation, but basically, how did we find ourselves here?
Well, for everybody, it's individual, but it's a variety of things. We had the pandemic, we had inflation, wages haven't kept up with inflation, and things just got expensive. And as they got more expensive, people took to surviving on their credit cards, and then interest rates went up. Adjustable rate mortgages, student loans, whatever it is for each individual, it's a pile that just keeps going higher and higher, and now it's become an avalanche.
Absolutely. And, you know, if you had to get a mortgage in the last year or so, it's even worse, really high.
It costs now, you're getting half the house for twice the price if you're getting a mortgage, and if you got a mortgage previously on an adjustable rate, you've had 2, maybe 3 rate hikes in that last couple of years.
Oh, it's really tricky. Okay, so I know that there are some options out there. What solutions are available for people?
Well, that's the nice thing. We're very full service. We have all the solutions available to people, and they don't know what is available or what even to turn to. So pick up the phone, call us sooner rather than later. Sooner, you've got things like a debt consolidation loan, where you take a one lower rate loan, get all your debt under that umbrella. Not only does it give you a lower rate, but it also protects you against future rate hikes, which is great. Now, some people may or may not qualify, or they want to move towards credit counseling, which does a lot of the same things without a new loan. Lowers that interest rate and helps you get out of debt. Then for the people who are really struggling under a hardship, they may qualify for our Texas Debt Relief Program that actually doesn't reduce their interest rates, but works on really significant reductions of their principal balance, what they actually owe. This can be a huge relief for people struggling. It can often give them a monthly program payment less than half compared to just making those minimums, and That bright light at the end of the tunnel is getting them out of debt in as little as 24 to 48 months.
That's a crazy low number, because if you're just paying the minimum, it might be years before you get out of debt, right?
Well, I'm very visual and I like colorful things. I brought some graphs that actually show that effect.
Well.
Now, when you talk about 20,000, 100,000, we're getting people coming to us with 250, 300,000 in debt, but our average is 50. Just squeaking by with those minimum payments at these interest rates, your monthly payment can be $2,000 a month. You move to a debt consolidation loan, it could be under $1,000. Credit counseling could be under $11,000, a huge relief. The Texas Debt Relief Program, you could be at $750. Now, that $1,250 difference between the two of those is the safety net, the rainy day, the car breaking down, the things you no longer have to stress about every day as a family. This next one is really brutal to think about as well. Paying just minimums. You cut up the cards, you freeze them, you hide them from yourself. Just making minimum payments on your existing $50,000, you will pay over double what you owe today.
That's scary.
That is, and people don't, that's money you're not investing. That $50,000 could have been invested in your future. Debt consolidation, credit counseling, you see, is a huge relief again. You could actually owe less than what you owe today if we negotiate the principal balances. So that's a huge relief. Now, the one that's truly depressing as well is how much time it will take. We say poor people pay interest, rich people earn interest. If you're paying interest on these credit cards at these current rates, which at average of 27%, it could take 20 plus years to pay off that $50,000. Debt consolidation and credit counseling, 6 and 5 years. Again, a huge relief. Depending on how aggressive you want to be and your budget, what you can afford, 24 to 48 months. And you are debt-free, planning on your retirement, vacations, kids' graduations and weddings, the things that really matter in life, not just throwing that away to high interest.
That is an incredible difference. I think you're right when you call it the light at the end of the tunnel. I think importantly, we want to talk about the fact that it's not bankruptcy, right? Because I think that that's a big scary word.
The majority of people that come to us want to avoid bankruptcy. Although we do have bankruptcy, we're affiliated with the top-rated bankruptcy attorney. So if you want those bankruptcy options, but not everybody qualifies for that Chapter 7 that washes it away.
Yeah.
They'll look at being on a Chapter 13, what's a repayment plan, so they'll have a bankruptcy and they still owe money back, and they start looking at our other options and saying, there might be another way. So we encourage you to call us, and if you want to explore bankruptcy, we can help you with that. We can help you with the non-bankruptcy options. But it's important to know all the options that are available to you.
Well, and you guys are all about education, and that's really important when we think about out-of-state companies, for example, because they're going to offer some of these same services, but they're not the same, right?
A lot of times you don't even know they're an out-of-state company because they're advertising on the internet, and everybody feels, the near me. Thai food near me, debt relief near me. But that near me might be a national lead generation company that's just capturing your information and selling it to the highest bidder, or even multiple companies. They may not be licensed in Texas. They may charge higher fees. A lot of them charge very high fees. We're very proud that we're up to 40% less than those national companies or those internet companies. And we've been Texas-based for 20 years, exclusively serving Texans. So we know the consumer protection laws.
Not only Texas-based, veteran-owned, and you guys are really proud of your reviews.
We are. We encourage people to go on our website, read those reviews, and more than anything, call us sooner rather than later, before you get too far behind. We can help you throughout the entire process, but you have more options available to you. Talk to one of our Texas debt specialists and take that burden off your back.
That is my last question. Do we just pick up the phone? How do we get best in touch with you?
Internet, phone, you can call, or you can go on debtredemption.com/KXAN, I believe it is, and just start the conversation and find out what's available to you. And it may not be you, it may be somebody you know. Say to them or call on their behalf and find out what's available.
Sounds good to me. Good education this morning. Tim, thank you so much. If you are struggling with $20,000 to $100,000 or more of credit card debt or personal loans, talk to a Texas debt specialist and ask about their lowest fee guarantee by calling 800-971-4060 or visit debtredemption.com/KXAN for a no obligation consultation. This segment is sponsored by Debt Redemption. Welcome back. Eyes are the windows to the soul, as they say, and bright eyes can be an anti-aging trick as we head into the darker days of the year. Our friend, it's been a minute, Gentry Quinn, is now oncology certified in aesthetics, and she's here to talk makeup and skincare tips that are safe to use. We're happy about that. Good morning, Gentry.
Good morning. I'm so excited to be here.
I know. Always a joy to have you in the studio. Okay, we're going to get right into it.
Okay, let's
We're
do
going to
it.
talk about skipping DIY oils near the eyes. So what might people be doing, and what do you want them to flip for?
for?
Yes, great question. So the thing is like everybody loves a viral trend, right? And so there have been lots of viral trends around even putting oil in your eyes.
Oh, wow.
Believe it or not, to help hydrate them for chronic dry eyes. But the problem with that is that they're not sterile. And so when you do that, you run the risk of infection, especially if you're going through some type of treatment or something where you want to limit the risk of irritation and infection. So you need to look for a sterile eye drop that is preservative free, ideally, and that's it, to hydrate your eyes. And even avoid those drops that constrict the blood vessels to help with the red eyes.
I use them.
I'm not saying it's the end of the world, but I'm just saying if you can just rehydrate your eyes, you'll probably saw it. And it's not medical advice, but just from an aesthetic standpoint, you'll probably do.
And some of these I've used before. I'll tell you guys, they're not the most affordable on the planet, but they are preservative free, to your point. And if you do talk to your eye doctor, they're going to be the ones that they suggest anyway. So you might as well get ahead of your next eye appointment.
Exactly.
Start using the right stuff. Okay, you've got a quick little highlighter hack to help kind of brighten up the eye space.
Yes, I love this because it can be so tempting to wear a lot of eye makeup down here, but really keeping it above the eye, you're going to risk or have a lower risk, I should say, of irritation. And this is in this climate, in this, what we were talking about, things that are more affordable. This is going to be a really easy beauty hack to help lift and brighten the eyes in a matter of seconds. You can literally come right underneath that brow bone, just like that. And that is going to give you that lift. And guess what? Without surgery or fillers.
Yeah.
My friend.
Save some money.
Easy, affordable.
I will tell everybody I use it on the inner corners and on my brow bone, and then I buff it out with a little white shadow every single day. So
brightens up the entire eye area.
Absolutely. I love your products.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Satin matte eyeshadow sticks. Fall warmth without the fallout. I like the idea of this.
So if you have sensitive eyes especially, there's nothing wrong with an eye color powder, right? But if you have sensitive eyes, if you're going through treatment, sometimes even those little powder particles can fall down and get into the eyes, and that can be irritating. So by using an eyeshadow stick, if you want that little bit of shimmer, you can kind of control that and prevent the fallout.
Okay. How many colors do you offer this in? Is it just this lovely champagne?
This is holiday, limited edition holiday champagne color. We always have the matte beige brow highlighter, which like you said, you can put underneath the eyes and the corners of the eyes. But if you want like a champagne little shimmer, something like this, I have other sticks and other brands. Whatever it is, the idea is just to use that instead if you have sensitive eyes. And it's really fun and easy too.
I was gonna say, especially if you're like packing for a trip or you want to like kind of the no makeup look, a really easy thing to do is just do a little swipe and blend, right? Okay.
Yes, exactly.
All right, let's talk about when extensions and adhesives backfire. I've just adhered some lashes to my eyeballs today, but let's talk about some easier alternatives for still having big, bright, curly eyelashes when all else fails.
Yes, and by the way, your eyes look beautiful, and there's nothing wrong with the falsies if your eyes are not irritated, but sometimes if you're going through treatment or if you have really sensitive eyes, then that is not the best choice for you.
My sister-in-law's allergic to the glue.
There you go. You want to avoid the glue. And honestly, if you're wearing those extensions, eventually your eyelashes are going to fall out. It's just what's going to happen. So what I recommend to open up your eye area is to use a heated eyelash curler.
Hang on.
Now, you can use whatever type of eyelash curler you want, but I've been using this for like 20 years as a makeup artist. Yes, all you do is turn it on, it warms up, it will not hurt your eyes, and it just helps lift the eyes naturally away, or the eyelashes away from your eyes, so that it opens up the eyes naturally.
So you just like slowly
hold it up, just like a hair curler, but to your eyes, and it just helps lift your lashes away from your eyes.
Lashes always look so good. Okay,
so easy curler. Yes, and then if you have sensitive eyes and you have issues, maybe you have watery eyes, maybe you have allergies, I should say. Sometimes using mascara, it can be one of those things where it gets into your eyes if you're in a humid environment, things like that. So using a tubular mascara can be really helpful.
One that creates tubes around the actual eyelash.
Yes, it sort of creates this little tube around the eyelashes, and it just stays in place more comparably, is that a word?
It is.
Okay, great. To a waterproof mascara without it being waterproof.
Gotcha. Yeah. A friend of mine just switched, and she's really happy about that switch.
Awesome. Awesome.
I do want to make sure that we talk about people who are going through something maybe like chemotherapy, and they're going through loss right now as far as eyebrows, eyelashes, might be even hair, right?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about what you would tell them when they think, oh, I want to be feminine again. I want, eyelash extensions, and I want to put everything back on. What would be your suggestion?
Sure. So makeup can be your best friend, just knowing how to apply the makeup in a way that's going to serve you if you have those sensitive skincare issues. And also, I would say just knowing that your hair will grow back. I think that could possibly be comforting, because it's very alarming, it's very traumatic when we lose hair, right? Whether it's on our scalp, our lashes, our brows. But just know that it will grow back in about 2 to 3 months. So some makeup staying on the top part of the eyes would be better than doing like inside where the waterline is, things like that. Staying away from the adhesives, maybe doing a little eyeliner just on the top part can kind of define the eyes without mascara, if that's not an option for you. And then again, just knowing that they will grow back.
And so maybe avoid the artificial lashes, the extensions for
Exactly.
just about 2 months, and then you can go back to it. And then just in our last 20 seconds, Beautifully Loved.
Yes. For this holiday season, we wanted to do something with our favorite nonprofit. They're here in Austin, Beautifully Loved. They help support families and children with pediatric cancer. So 20% of the profits from our limited edition Whipped Eyes and Lip Duo on our website will go towards them this holiday season.
It's wonderful, and you have such a big heart, Gentry. Thank you for sharing it with
thank
us here
you
on
for
camera.
having me.
We appreciate it. Okay, watch Gentry's daily over 40 beauty tips on TikTok and Facebook, but they can apply to you even if not, at Gentry Quinn, and take a deeper dive on skin protection and other beauty topics on her website, gentryquinn.com.
He's full of Cajun soul and wowed the judges with his rendition of Sam Cooke's Bring It On Home to Me. Welcome Dustin Dale Gaspar, who's competing on The Voice Season 28 and is now officially on Team Niall Horan. Hi, Dustin. How are you?
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thanks for nailing the name. You did such a great job.
I really tried. Last name's not normally my thing, the pronunciation anyway, so I did my best for you. Now, Dustin, let's start with this. Just tell people, why did you decide to audition for The Voice?
I decided to audition because I've actually known a couple people that have been on the show years back, and every time that they've returned, they were like the best singers I've ever heard in my life. I had a little bit of freedom within my schedule and did it on a whim. And it all worked out bizarrely. So now, I just wanted to give it a shot and see where it would take me.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously it bode well for you. So congratulations on officially making it formally onto the season into the next round. But I always am curious to know about song selection, because of course the song that you pick when you're singing the audition, you're really trying to make a very big impression in a very small amount of time. So how did we land on Bring It On Home to Me?
There was a lot of conversation, a lot of back and forth with me and the producers, navigating that field, some recommendations. And then I said, well, I really love this song. It was my grandfather's favorite song. And I played it for him before he passed. So I wanted to honor him, and I love soul music. There's a rendition of this tune back home done in the style of swamp pop, which is like a mixture of old school R&B and trad Cajun music and blues. And I wanted to honor the tradition of Cajun, kind of be relevant within the Cajun sphere. So all of those things came full circle for me to choose this tune.
You kind of effortlessly include French into your performances. We saw you do it in the audition. I've listened to some of your music. You do it as well. So kind of tell me, why is that important to you, and how do you go about deciding, when is the right time in the song to make that happen?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, first, it's my legacy to promote and progress the Cajun music, the Cajun language. But it's also, by my heart, I have to do it my own way. And that's typically stepping out of the bounds of something traditional. And choosing, sometimes it's covers, but This was an original idea started back in the 50s and 60s with the swamp pop music genre, which is an indigenous genre to Louisiana. It was a bunch of old Cajun men that wanted to be Elvis or they wanted to be Ray Charles, and they couldn't escape their Cajun roots. So they ended up writing these kind of swing, rock and roll, bluesy, bilingual tunes, and sometimes incorporating that in their covers as well. So as far as arranging goes, it's really difficult to transcribe lyrics exactly, especially when you go into something like French that has so many bizarre verb tenses. And normally it's not going to work out melodically, like as the arrangement could fall and as the melody falls. It'll be a pretty bizarre undertaking to try to sing the exact same thing. So I think song to song, it kind of is very specific to what words can be utilized most musically. And that's how we came up with this arrangement. It just so happened that the second verse really flowed and had a lot of groove for what I wanted to say. And it was pretty much identical to what the inspiration and the everything that wanted to be said in the second verse translated perfectly is what I'm getting at.
You landed on Team Nile, which was your decision to make. And I know you kind of, you said part of your decision was due to having some kind of Irish friends, maybe some Irish or trips to Ireland or something in the past. There was a lot of different influences that felt like of that decision, but can you give me a little bit more insight as to why Team Nile versus the other coaches on this season?
I had originally told the producers that I was not going to pick Nile at all. And I think that was like that's why it might have been such a big surprise, because the influence of information and maybe the energy was, he might have felt that originally I hadn't intended on that. But in the moment, his response, there's a lot of things that they didn't show about his response, where he when he turned around, the things that he had to say, that he wanted to say, were just like, he went on and raved on and on. And I actually have, well, firstly, my biggest influences are songwriters from Ireland. I mean, you're talking a gentleman named Foy Vance, who's an incredible songwriter and soul singer. You have Van Morrison, who's from out that way. You have Hosier, who's from, an Irish songwriter as well. So that involved all these influences, all these inspirations. There's so much collaboration and crossover between Irish people and Cajun people. And then, his Niall's response to me, it just seemed like, I looked at my mom and she said, she pointed to her chest and was saying, go with your heart. And in that moment, I just had to go with my heart.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, if you listen to your heart and trust your gut, I feel like you're always in pretty good hands in life. So I would definitely say that was a strong decision on your behalf. Now, anything, I know you can't tell me too much, but anything you can tease for me about your battle round performance or kind of the next stage of the competition for you?
I can say that the next stage of the competition is the funnest, yet most heartbreaking stage of the entire competition, because you get to get up there and the battle rounds and perform with another contestant who has done the same things, has been through the same experiences, and it feels like the burden of all the nerves goes away, especially if you're with the right partner, which I was with the absolute right partner, and we got to have the time of our lives. It was the most incredible experience doing that.
Dustin, thank you so much for your time. We're rooting you on and wishing you the best, and can't wait to see how the battle rounds shake out for you.
Welcome back, everybody. The Austin Playhouse is currently performing The Heart Sellers, spotlighting Asian American immigrant experiences. Joining us now are Sarah Chong Dickey, who stars as Jane, along with the show's director, Ben Wolf.
Y'all, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. Ben, we were just talking off camera about this show. It's not something you've written, it's something we've adapted.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the story.
So the show takes place in 1973 after the signing of the Hart-Celler Immigration Act of 1965, which sort of opened up immigration for Asians, Latin Americans, and Africans. And this show itself really focuses on the Asian immigrant experience from the perspective of these two charming young women, one Filipina and one Korean, and what it means to find community and how to form friendships and the things you leave behind and the things you yearn for and what it means to sort of chase that American dream as well.
Wow, culture shock, of
Yeah,
course.
absolutely.
But then a desire to be grateful and put yourself in your new home.
Absolutely.
Lots of themes to discuss
Yeah.
there. Okay, so Sarah, tell us about your character Jane.
So I play Jane, or Jeha. She's a recent Korean immigrant who meets Luna, the other character, at a grocery store, and it's Thanksgiving in 1973, and they go to Luna's apartment to kind of get together while their husbands are medical residents and say, well, maybe there's a friendship here, maybe there's something here. So Jane, between the two of them, is a little bit more reserved. She's had a little bit more hardship and loss in her life, being born during the Korean War and growing up in the aftermath of that. But then we see throughout the show how, yes, charming and artistic and smart and funny she is, and she's a really beautiful arc that's so much fun to play.
Well, I'm happy to hear that it's fun to play. I want to know if there are any parallels between you and Jane just as a person.
Yeah, what's really unique and challenging and beautiful about this role is I say it's like a blend of my generation, from my grandmother to my mother to myself. So my grandmother was living this same kind of timeline as Jane, from the 50s to the 70s at this age range. And my mother was around Jane's age when she immigrated from Korea to the US and was learning English and newly married in her 20s, finding her way. And then for myself, there really is this question of how do you blend, hold on to, honor being both Asian and American while your family is so far away, while you're yearning for another part of yourself that you just won't get to be and feel as often. So it's really this idea of identity, but also appreciating your family and your culture, and it's been wonderful.
You're giving me goosebumps as you're talking about it. The familial parallels that you have, that you're able to bring to this character, I think probably adds a lot of depth to what you're able to do for Jane, don't you think?
I hope so. I think so. And our my co-star is also a Filipina immigrant, and so she also has a lot of layers that we are able to share in and play off of, and it's been wonderful.
Well, I love the appropriate casting. So Ben, what has it been like directing for this show? Not only for the production itself, bringing it to life, but a little cast brag never hurts.
Sure, absolutely. I'm also the son of an immigrant. My mother was an Asian immigrant, and it's been just wonderful to sort of unpack this story, and of course, getting to work with Alexa and Sarah. I've long said I wanted to find a piece that could showcase what Sarah can do, and Sarah just knocks it out of the park. She's amazing.
Way to go,
She's
Sarah.
amazing in this role. It's been a blast.
Okay, wonderful. Sarah, what would you say about the stage you're on for this production? It's only the second time it's been used.
Yes, so Austin Playhouse, we're in our 26th season. A majority of our productions happen on our main stage, which holds about 125 patrons. The studio stage, where we're doing the Hart-Cellars, holds about 40. So it's a
Intimate show.
Very intimate.
intimate experience. For the audience, yes. For the actors, definitely. And with a show like this, where you really do take this emotional journey, all the emotions, joy, heartbreak, friendship, all of these things, we as actors can feel the resonance within the audience because they're so close, they're right there. And it's like the laughter is great and fills the room, but also these just like palpable energy of like understanding and empathy, and they're really locked into the journey that these two women are taking, which is beautiful.
Instead of seeing studio lights, you're actually able to see like looks on faces.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. Like I can look out and see snot coming out. People notice while they're crying and just really feeling what we are.
You can hear all of the vocal audience response. There's a lot of, oh, I didn't know, you know, lots of great
Well, I
interaction.
didn't know the Heart Sellers Act even existed, so you've
Yeah.
already taught me something today. Real quickly, Ben, tickets are still available, yes?
Tickets are available on our website, austinplayhouse.com.
Okay, I'm just going to repeat that so everybody makes sure and goes and buys some tickets
Please.
to see
Perfect,
y'all.
yeah.
Thank you both so much for your time. Break
Thank
a
you so much.
leg.
Thank you.
All right, for more details on the Heart Sellers, presented by the Austin Playhouse, it's currently playing, y'all. Visit austinplayhouse.com. We have a lot of fun here on Studio 512. If you missed any of our great segments, be sure to check out our website where we like to post the fun things we do. Our feed covers content like arts and entertainment, food and drink, fashion and beauty, home and garden, stuff for kids and pets, as well as information from area experts. In addition, you can check out web-exclusive content that you can only find on studio512tv.com. We also love to post behind-the-scenes funny moments, outfit inspirations, and more on social media. Find us by searching for Studio 512 on your favorite platform. You don't want to miss a single post. Be sure to follow us, check out our website, and watch us every weekday at 11 a.m. right here on CW Austin. Hey, we are happy to be able to offer you some help if you're out there searching for jobs. KXAN has partnered with ZipRecruiter to help you find thousands of job openings in Austin and around the country. Just go to kxan.com/jobs where you can search thousands of new postings every single day. Check it out right now and get started on the path to your next career. Content segments during Studio 512 were paid for by debt redemption.